Welcome right back here to Brien McMahon High School as we settle in. For the start of this one, we'll take a look at the goaltender for Ridgefield, Adam Winnie. He is a senior. You talk about offensive explosions. He may have a busy day today against this Newtown team. And Evan Isaacs, a starting goaltender for the Newtown Nighthawks today, and he'll be challenged by the Tigers. Tigers, the defending Class L champions. They beat Fairfield Prep a year ago, 11-10. So Fairfield Prep playing in the other semifinal round game. And who will it be? It should be interesting. We'll find out in this half of the bracket. The opening face-off to get it underway. Ridgefield Tigers will control in its girth through the middle of the field. So the Tigers with the first opportunity as we're just underway. Are we going to go through a feeling out process here, Frankie?
And we talked about that game earlier last year. The goal scorer in that one to win it was Sean Wilkinson. And playing without him and having that injury happen at the last second, we'll see how that affects them. But very strong team this year, scoring 205 goals. Watch out for them. Tough.
Ridgefield Tigers in the black and orange, sharp-looking uniforms with the white numerals. Wilkinson also one of the top hockey players in the state of Connecticut. Ridgefield had a terrific run in the game of hockey and were bumped out by West Haven as they went into that game unbeaten. There's a pass across, and they'll turn it over. Matthias was the intended recipient. He's only a freshman for the Ridgefield Tigers. And for the first time, the Nighthawks of Newtown will control.
Play a very consistent offensive game. They can score goals as well. They've scored over 200. But when Ridgefield plays the tight defense that they do in that zone, tends to slow the game down a little bit, Don.
So Newtown to start play at the whistle. Evan Isaacs will move it up ahead, and it's controlled by Fisher. Corey Fisher, the far side, trying to work his way through that midfield area, and he does it a sideline, stumble to the sideline and turn it over. It's scooped right back up by Martin Carbone of the Tigers. They're on the attack. They have numbers, and some pretty good defensive work by Kevin Dennis. Slowed down that transitional attack right there. Good work.
Really has been, and now they'll have to set it up, and Evan Isaacs will be challenged today, but he's going to have to stand tall, and it would behoove him to do so early.
Scala trying to turn in around the defense of McNamara. He's forced back behind the goal. Right now looks like Newtown trying to go man-to-man defensively against Eric Scala and company. Scala turns, fires, and a save is made by Isaacs, his first of the game. That was an alert play, and the rebound picked up by Justin Brophy, one of the prolific players for the Nighthawks, and he carries into the offensive half. For the first time, the Nighthawks will set it up offensively here, Frankie.
I don't know if it was a feeling of relief or excitement, but you know he was thanking his lucky stars when he saw that one go up in the air. What a great save.
Well, there's a shot down low and a kick save by Winnie. His first opportunity as Brophy had the shot. Really changed the angle of that lacrosse stick down low, and good stop by Winnie. So both teams with opportunities here early on in the opening quarter. We remain scoreless. A good pass up ahead. Shot score. Justin Brophy took the feed from Hibbert and scores, and Newtown on top 1-0.
You always favor the FCIAC teams in these kind of matchups because, let's face it, they do play in very tough groups, but Brophy right away setting the tone, doing what he needs to do, and a quick goal is just what the doctor ordered for this Newtown team.
Comes 2 minutes and 13 seconds into the opening quarter. Now we'll have the face-off. Cousins will take this face-off, I believe, for Ridgefield. He'll go up against Corey Fisher of Newtown. Fisher is a senior. And a pretty good battle for this. Cousins is a junior. And the Nighthawks will come away with it, and they're on the attack immediately. Off the left wing side, Spath to control it. They distribute it quickly behind the goal to Trudell. Trudell will turn it back. Trey Trudell, a senior for this Newtown team. So they have the 1-0 lead. Hibbert, who had that nice pass, setting up the only goal of the game, scored by Justin Brophy. 49th goal of the year for Brophy, huh? That's great numbers.
Heading towards 50, and you just have to love that. You're talking about 2.5 or 3 goals a game. He's been playing tough all year, but this Newtown team right now controlling the tempo and pace. Very impressive start.
Hibbert from behind the goal. Hibbert takes a look, fired a pass, good catch by McNamara. Back to Hibbert, it comes from behind. Hibbert looks like he might be the quarterback of this team here today. Bossity trying to cover him. Pass comes out top. Fisher dropped it, becomes a free ball and the ground ball. Nice win by Cousins. He's knocked down. Some physical play. Knocked down from the blind side by Corey Fisher. We get a flag in the game's first infraction.
And you're talking about a push from behind, as you mentioned, but extending that arm, just not needed there, not necessary. That's why you see the penalty. And coming up on the man-up opportunity after that hit as you see him go to the ground.
So Ridgefield with the first man-up opportunity here in the ball game, and they trail 1-0 with 8:39 remaining in the opening quarter. Very pleasant temperatures here at the beginning of this Class L semifinal round game.
It's quite a scene here, Don. You have a beautiful school in the background, relatively new field, and great weather. You have to be happy if you're a fan, but especially if you're a Newtown fan, but now Ridgefield back on the attack.
Girth to Scala, Scala to Girth. Finds a player at the wing, right side, Matthias. Back out top, Girth shut down. Some pretty good defense right there. Alert play by Kearney. Ridgefield nearly coughed it up. Penalized player is back, so we're back to even strength. Shot score. Side of the goal, Sean Riley with his 58th of the year. He's tied it for Ridgefield at even strength.
Good recovery there, not only from that one play in particular, but in coming out flat. Really important to establish an early pace and getting that goal. Bonaparte almost missed it, but recovering from the pass, getting it to the man on this team, Sean Riley, tied up in one. That's a big goal.
Good shot by Riley as he closed and certainly made no mistake of beating Evan Isaacs. So we'll get the face-off at midfield. Fisher, this time going up against, for Ridgefield Bonaparte, as that was propelled ahead, and Newtown will control the face-off. This is Trudell to control it. We'll play it back behind the goal to Danny Hebert. Hebert trying to work against Bossity. He'll lay it off to Hebert. Hebert will come to the near side. Hebert back behind the goal. Trudell back to Hebert. They play a little game of catch. They work the perimeter to Fisher. Fisher looking inside. Nothing going on there. Back to McNamara. McNamara to the alley and back behind the goal. Ridgefield trying to set up. Looks like they're trying to go more of a zone-type defense here. They've really packed it in front of their goalkeeper. And not chasing much. There's a cutter of the pass. Nice catch of that pass. And then a whirling shot by Brophy. May have deflected off of Adam Wynn.
You mentioned that zone defense.
Oh, Winnie, excuse me.
They are playing right up on Winnie, almost in his face. The defense of Ridgefield getting very close and collapsing the net, almost acting as extra goalkeepers. But they do want to spread out a little bit so that nobody's out getting open in front.
Brophy from behind the goal, handling it right-handed to Trudell. Now they work it back out to Hebert. Hebert looking. Boy, nice cut there by Brophy. Brophy turned to the sideline, and great defensive work will steal it away. That was a stolen away by Payne, and here they come in transition. As Bonaparte working it quickly up ahead, off the left wing side, trying to duck in is Riley, and he was turned back by the defensive Bassett. Now the skilled offensive players on the turf here for the Ridgefield Tigers in a 1-1 game. Fast-paced first period.
And a great lacrosse IQ from Will Bonaparte. You saw him stepping back towards that 30-yard line just to set up the play and get everything going. Ridgefield needs that right now, especially when we talk about losing your leader in Wilkinson. He'll be important today to their success, Will Bonaparte.
Off the left wing side, that's Kelly. Kelly is knocked down. He was hit hard by Justin Brophy, and Brophy rolled right through him. That was Corey Fisher helping out on the defensive side, too, and we'll get the infraction against the Nighthawks. And it'll be another opportunity here for the Ridgefield Tigers. Tied at 1. They scored just after the first infraction whistled against the Nighthawks, so they took advantage of that man up, and now they get another chance here.
Corey Fisher and some of his partners just in that side of the field having a struggle trying to contain the Ridgefield offense. Doing it early here with the penalties, but they're going to want to get rid of that quickly and end that habit rather fast.
Tigers, the defending Class L champions, trying to weave their way back to a championship encounter once again. This is controlled by Riley. Dished it off to the right side to Scala. Scala plays it along to Matthias. Matthias back behind as they whirl it to Kelly. Kelly back out to the left side, and they'll come to the top of the box to Scala. Scala shut down. Good discipline by Kearney defensively, and a shot. Score! A quick release by Seabury, by Eric Scala, and he scores for Ridgefield.
Scala now has 42 goals on the year. It could just come from anywhere. Thought that shot was a little ambitious, but of course, if you're a great goal scorer like Scala is, you should have the confidence. A low driving shot, putting it right past Evan Isaacs. A nice goal.
Comes at 6:20 with the man up. So Ridgefield cashing in on the man up situation to take the lead at 2-1. And you mentioned surprising. I think that's what Scala did. Certainly surprised me with that quick release. A great shot. Now Cousins with a win. He is knocked down in the play as Newtown trying to play aggressively with Spath knocking down players. Spath goes running at another Tiger right there as he went after Scala. And coming out of the fray, it is controlled by Newtown, and quickly comes McNamara. McNamara carries out to the right. Now they'll settle things down offensively. That was some physical play right there, in particular by Justin Spath.
And Newtown going down a goal. They have to take advantage of that transition opportunity. They can be more of a possession team. They're going to have to get something going with Hebert and the rest of their crew.
Brophy pulled it back out. They'll reset right side to Brendan McNamara, and back behind the goal to Hebert. It's over his head, and they turn it over to Ridgefield. Ridgefield leading 2-1 with 4:52 remaining here in the opening quarter. The lights are on, but really not needed. The sun will settle behind Brien McMahon High School momentarily. Right now it's shining brightly across the field towards our broadcast location. Feels like a warm summer evening right now.
Can't complain about the weather. Maybe a little bit of the glare in the press box, but truly tremendous out there. And I really like what I see from Ridgefield in getting quickly into the box, but then settling through and trying to create an opportunity.
Tigers to work at far side. Timothy Cousins with a good dodge, drives in front, quick shot, and just wide.
I believe that hit the side of the net because I thought it almost went in.
I kind of lost track of it there. Went out of play. Tigers will maintain possession. On the far side is Timothy Cousins. He's a junior. He's working on Dougie Miller. Now he's picked up defensively by Kearney on the slide, and they'll dish it back off left side to Calvin Dirth. Dirth will pull it out top. Dirth, good run, drive towards the goal, quick shot just wide. Tigers well positioned. They maintain possession as they're really finding their offensive groove right now.
And in that offensive groove, you really understand the lacrosse IQ and how really good this team is in Ridgefield, one of the top 100 teams in the country. They rely on their offense, 13.5 goals per game. You could see it by the confident shots that they take.
Dirth challenging Miller. Dirth plays off the check. Good distribution to Scala. Scala with a shot, and the save is made by Isaac. Isaac looked rather nonchalant making that save, didn't he?
Yes, and I think he was jawing a little bit there at Riley. He was really excited about that. Hey, if that's what's going to keep him in this game against a tough Ridgefield team, that's going to be something he's going to have to do. Own it, young man.
Fletcher to Evan Isaacs, the junior goalkeeper. We get a timeout on the field. Newtown in possession. We'll step aside. The score with 3:10 remaining in the opening quarter. It is Ridgefield, the third seed, leading second seeded Newtown by the score of 2-1. Back with more right here on CPTV Sports. No. I don't know.
It would be pushed in. Yeah, it's on right now. I can't tell. What do you see? No image, I don't think. Nope.
How do they look tonight? You said they look great. I always thought it would be good to I think he's been using the truck more. I used to love saying that to my advisor. Yeah. He never showed up.
Welcome back here to Brien McMahon High School. the Jack Casagrande Field, named after the late great coach here at Brien McMahon High School, longtime legendary coach.
Sorry about that, Don. Out of all the fields I've seen, this one is, of course, a strong turf field, but you can tell with some of the advantages that they have financially in this community. It might be a little older than most. You can see some grooves in here and some more black spots that you don't normally see. That's what affects traffic in front of the net.
Good win of a ground ball there by Kevin Dennis, the senior, and the Nighthawks back in possession as it's back behind to Trudell. Trudell works it to the corner behind the goal. Trudell to the X. Trudell comes off the screen and able to play it back out and controlled there by McNamara. He didn't shoot. It looked like he had a shooting angle, decided not to let it go. That's interesting. Wayne Gretzky in the game of hockey says if you don't shoot it, you never have a chance to score. That if you shoot it, good things will happen. I'm just paraphrasing because I can't remember the quote exactly, but it's a well-known quote, and it will come to me. But you got to shoot it is the bottom line. You get a chance.
The great one coming from behind, usually behind that net, like a viper.
Absolutely. There's a shot, and Winnie able to stop that one as on the doorstep was Derrickson. Now it's a loose ball to the far side, and the mad chase for it, and it's out of play, and whose ball will it be? Just had a light drizzle of rain, but that has gone away. It came down momentarily. We've had some showers in the area throughout the day. Certainly nothing disturbing at all, certainly not affecting the play or the turf down on the field, as the footing is terrific here on this gorgeous, gorgeous field.
And that's the great thing about these new turf fields, not affected by rain at all.
Hebert coming off the left. Good pass behind. Quick toss by Derrickson out top, and the shot goes wide by Justin Brophy. Got it on the left side and changed that angle parallel with the turf and shot it wide. Hebert was well positioned. He'll carry out. Hebert, look out. Good position. Shot up the goal post and in for Justin Brophy. Boy, he was left unattended. He's just too good to do that. And Newtown is tied at it 2 late here in the opening quarter.
Happy 50th to Justin Brophy. Had to work for it because it kissed that post right there, but then went in. He was really confident there out in front, creating the lane for himself, and then finishing. Just a terrific effort from him thus far today and keeping his team in there against a tough team to play in Ridgefield.
Yeah, 3 Ridgefield defenders closed just too late on the very talented Justin Brophy. Newtown starting to win some of the little battles, although that ball squirted free and it's scooped up. Nice ground ball win by Trudell. Trudell racing through the middle of the field. Right-handed carry being chased frantically by Bonaparte and brings it out to the side. And he turned it back over the Tigers. Maybe they were offside. I didn't see the call. It was in that position of the field where perhaps it would go offside because he chased it to the back half of his field. This is Gravitt with that long pole, a junior for the Tigers, and they'll pass it off to Cousins. Sean Riley from behind the goal. Riley with 1 today for the Ridgefield Tigers. His pass, however, loose to the turf, and it's going to be scooped up by Bonaparte, who's got some quick feet, doesn't he?
And he certainly does. You see him setting up this opportunity. He's a ball hawk when it comes to getting it around the 20s and 30s, but he will make a tremendous pass.
And he did right there to Sean Riley for the score as he tucks it behind Isaac, and Ridgefield gets the lead back at 3-2. So Riley scoring his second of the game, and a nice feed by William Bonaparte, the sophomore. Boy, that comes with just 16 seconds remaining in the quarter. That's a late goal.
A very important goal with Newtown knocking on the door once again. Bonaparte, he's just really amazing, isn't he, at setting up the play, getting off a nice pass, but really messing with the goalkeeper enough to bother him so that Riley can get in on that back door and put it in.
Newtown wins the faceoff till they have time to get a shot towards goal. It's carried ahead by Fisher. They play it back behind to Hebert. Hebert looking. He's going to have to hurry. 3 seconds left. Hebert trying to turn around the defense. Hebert tosses out top, and that's going to do it. Time will expire in the opening quarter. Well played. Closely played. 3-2. Ridgefield leading through 1 over Newtown. We'll step aside. We'll be back with quarter number 2 of this Class L boys semifinal in the game of lacrosse right here on CPTV Sports.
Fans, once again, you can catch a replay of tonight's game on CPTV Sports, Friday at 8:30 p.m.
Lightning quick goals today. That's how these good lacrosse teams score. Get out of transition quick. I like the fans in the last one, though. It keeps everybody into it, you know? They were selling.
Right back here at Brien McMahon High School. The winner of this game will take on Fairfield Prep. They defeated top-seeded Simsbury earlier today by the score of 10-7. So the Jesuits, 5th seeded at 15-3, taking on the winner of Newtown versus Ridgefield. As we move on to the second quarter of the Newtown-Ridgefield game. So nice to be with you all in the Ridgefield with a slight advantage, a 3-2 lead through one quarter of play. Ridgefield now traveling from right to left. The Nighthawks defending with Evan Isaacs in goal in the circle to our left side. The Tigers with the ball right now.
Bonaparte rumbling up the field once again. These face-offs are going to be very important, and you saw an absolute battle right there.
Tigers will settle things down. Matthias along the right side, picked up defensively by the aggressive Justin Spath. Spath, a physical player. Now it's back behind to Riley. Riley not disappointing today. He has scored for Ridgefield. He has scored 2 to be precise. There's a shot score down low. Matthias picked it up. A ground ball that was loose on the doorstep, and he scores. Simon Matthias, the freshman, and Ridgefield now with a 4-2 lead.
And that's why those face-offs are so important, because this Ridgefield team turns it into transition. They get out in front of the net, and they will punish you and score. Matthias that time being the one to take advantage.
Comes just 41 seconds into the second quarter. So Newtown's going to win, they need to win a couple of face-offs here. Ridgefield has done a terrific job, as you mentioned. Cousins will win yet another. Cousins still in his back half, will feed it along to the offensive half of the field to Calvin Durth. Durth straight on with a good drive, but the shot is wide.
And one more time about those face-offs, because they are so important. McNamara is no pushover. He wins about 61% of his face-offs. He's going to have to keep that going today, because they really need to get Ridgefield out of transition. Ridgefield.
Durth plays it along to the left side. Bonaparte. He's been a vital clog in this offensive set of the Tigers. Drives to the front of the goal. He's bumped off the ball by Bassett, but it's picked right back up by Cousins. Boy, he's got some quick feet, too. This Ridgefield team, very impressive with their team speed.
That's, of course, one of the keys studying up on this team. You could tell that was something that they'd have. But on the other end, Newtown's going to have to play a game of 48 minutes and execute it that whole time. Almost flawless lacrosse. That's a testament to how good Ridgefield is.
Absolutely. Right now, Newtown playing a game of catch-up, trailing on the scoreboard 4-2, and playing a little hide-and-seek, too, because they're trying to catch the Tigers, who are hiding all over the place, finding cutters just like that for a turnaround shot, and it went off the Isaac stick. Isaac just got a piece of the Calvin Durth opportunity, and it's back to Newtown and a chance here to pull within one.
Tigers going hide and seek. You really can't see them at that point, but you do when they come back and roar and score those goals.
Dearth with that great opportunity on the curl, and Isaacs just got enough of it. That was a terrific stop. Now Newtown into their offensive half. It's Justin Brophy controlling along the alley. They quickly move it back behind the goal, set up to Hebert. Danny Hebert, the junior, being marked all the way by Sammy Gravitt. Hebert with a fake of a pass. Now he'll find his teammate, Trudell. Working around to the near side to Fisher. Fisher dropped the pass. It's a free ball. Fisher digging after it. That's a great ground ball win by number 25, Jack Condon. I checked that. Number 25, Paul Valent of Ridgefield. And he got the timeout after the ground ball win to the near side. So we have a timeout, and we'll take a break. We'll be back with more high school lacrosse right here on CPTV Sports. Your score, Ridgefield 4 and Newtown 2. They messed me up with the change there. I just keep on looking at the wrong side of it.
Worked it. I did that yesterday. Yeah, I've been working. This is my 9th straight day. Yeah.
Welcome right back for Ridgefield. Calvin Dearth has been terrific here today. Nearly had one a moment ago. He was robbed by Isaacs in a terrific stop, and it will be Tiger ball.
But in seeing how important this game is, they're in control of this game is Ridgefield, but having to call the timeout because you don't want to give up a transition opportunity to Newtown. Great game management because they hadn't used the timeout yet.
Matthias from behind the goal, controlling. Matthias will pass it off to the right, then they'll bring it back out top. To Logley. To the near side to Dearth. Dearth picked up by Spat. Dearth. Pass along. That's a great pass across the box right into the stick of Scala. And Scala elected not to shoot. He pulled it back out, and they restart from the top. So they reset offensively. That's Kearney out top. They're in that 1-4-1 defensive set right now against the Ridgefield Tigers.
And I like Newtown's defensive set because they push you out and force you out of shooting position.
Good stick work by Fletcher a moment ago as he just lodged the ball from Riley's grasp, and Newtown will get it back on the far side. Yeah, that strategy trying to clog up the middle there with those 4 defenders paid off right there when Ridgefield tried to work it into the middle.
And it certainly has worked, and keeping them in the game, but more than anything, there have to be a tough team that's not going to be pushed around. And right now they're showing that physicality, as you've seen on the last few plays.
So the Nighthawks controlling. They trail 4-2. 8:17 remaining till halftime. That was a dangerous pass along the sideline, but it found Brophy. Brophy will slow it down, play it along left side to Danny Hebert. Hebert back to Brophy. Brophy is not disappointed today. He has scored a couple for the Newtown Nighthawks. He may need a few more before this night is over. This is Trey Trudell. Back along to Hebert. Hebert twisting, shot blocked by the defense as they packed it in. It's a free ball, and Trudell going after it. He says, I can run too. He shows some quickness, moves along to Fisher. Fisher takes a look. Got an open player. That's Hebert behind the goal, and the toss comes his way.
I was impressed by Hebert's last shot, getting it low.
That pass right there was intended for Derrickson. It was too low, and it rolls all the way to midfield. Battle for it. Nice win there by Brophy. Boy, he got back quickly, didn't he?
He certainly did, and now Brophy looking at the net. That's where Hebert has to get him open.
Hebert back along to Trudell. Trudell spun around by Gravitt. Trudell continues to control. Look for the cutter, nothing there. Over to Hebert. And Hebert will slow it on down. Hebert buying a little space. Comes off the pick and pulls it back out. Hebert to the far side. Hebert doing a lot of running here in this possession. We're down to 6:54 remaining till halftime. Ridgefield continues the lead by 2 at 4-2.
Hebert's like that pitcher that throws a curveball at you every now and again because you never know when he's going to shoot because he's always trying to set it up as a quarterback type player.
Trudell back pedals. Derrickson. Good feed. McNamara back to Derrickson. Derrickson controls back along to Trudell. Trudell picked up defensively by Gravitt, who's been all over the field defensively. Now Trudell to control. Trudell comes out top, spins through a double team, finds his man. Shot goes just wide by Justin Brophy. Winnie might have got a little piece of that right there on the shot by Brophy.
Excellent shot by Brophy, and the fact that Ridgefield's defense is that zone, playing very strong around the net. Not many shooting lanes. It's not that Newtown's playing a bad game today. They are actually very impressive in their attack, but just not finding anything right now.
It'll be Nighthawks to start play. 6:19 remaining here in the opening half. The winner of this game taking on Fairfield Prep. They toppled top seed Simsbury.
Wouldn't that be a great rematch? Fairfield Prep and Ridgefield would play for the third time in state championship history.
1-goal game just a year ago. Ball controlled by Newtown. Hebert back out top. They reverse it quickly out to the left side. Trudell looks inside, comes back to the near right. That's McNamara. Back to Hebert to McNamara. Boy, that defense so disciplined. A zone defense being displayed by the Ridgefield Tigers, and they really move terrifically in unison. There's a shot that's blocked. Ball becomes free and picked up by McNamara and off to the right to Hebert. Hebert trying to work on Bossity. Brendan Bossity stays right with Hebert. Hebert spins, looks, nothing going on. Trying to find Trudell, he does. Trudell looks for the cutter. McNamara, shot, score! Patient offensive set, and it results in a goal. Pretty shot by Brendan McNamara to make it 4-3.
Patience is the perfect word right there, and also a virtue. What you see is not getting any chances at the goal whatsoever. It took over 3 minutes in that possession to get something, but there was McNamara, and steady was the play right there, getting it off and finally scoring.
So at 6:37, the goal by McNamara, as he was a trailer there, did a terrific job of finding that open space and took a perfect pass. There was really no chance for Adam Winnie of Ridgefield. That was a long possession. Ridgefield has been wonderful on their face-offs. Calvin Dirth doing a nice job. They win another, and this is Bonaparte to control it.
And that's why you have to really appreciate how good Ridgefield is, because again, Newtown and McNamara, a great face-off kind of player, but on that goal, McNamara now has 36 on the season, a testament to how well he's played.
Kearney able to ride Bonaparte effectively and not allowed to make that move inside. So Cousins will give it a try, finds an angle, shifts left-handed over the top. He got knocked down hard, and we've got a marker thrown. This is going to go against Newtown, I do believe, and against Hunter Bassett, who hunted down the prey right there, but too aggressive, and he'll take a knee and a man-up opportunity for Ridgefield. I believe their third of the game, Frankie.
It certainly is their third of the game. Corey Fisher had 2, and now Bassett. They had gotten rid of that because they finally caught up to Ridgefield, but another hard play for them now, being a man down, and we know last time Ridgefield was able to take advantage of that by scoring.
So Ridgefield leading by 1 at 4-3, 4:44 remaining till halftime. This is the Class L semifinals, boys lacrosse, right here from Brien McMahon High School. Ridgefield working the perimeter. There's a shooting angle, and that was knocked away as Scala tried to shoot it down low. Might have been one of the defenders to get a foot on it in the name of Kevin Dennis. Ridgefield closing the gap. Riley with a quick little feed. Now they work it back out. Bonaparte, nice catch of that pass. Had to take it off the turf. Bonaparte out top. Dirth, right side. And a shot. Boy, Eric Scala loaded the gun and fires and scores for Ridgefield with a man up. That's their second man up goal today.
What a laser by Scala. That barely touched the back of the net because that's how quick he was able to shoot it. Scala wanted that goal very badly. You saw him fight for it earlier, but just couldn't get the shot off. But when he finally had the opportunity to take advantage, he finished. Scala with the second goal of the game, and now 42 on the season.
Comes at 7:48 of the second quarter. That makes it 5-3, Ridgefield leading Newtown. Ridgefield coming in as the third seed, and of course Newtown coming in second seeded, although identical records at 15-3, as the CIAC does not recognize conference tournament play and records, as you have to submit and to become eligible just for your regular season mark. So if there's a discrepancy in the records of what you know back at home and what we report, we go by the CIAC records for the determination of seedings and the like, so it all makes sense. There's a shot down low by Scala bidding for his third. That was blocked away.
I'm impressed by Scala. That was an impossible shot to get off considering the angle. He almost had to sweep it away like he's looking for something under a couch with a broom.
Trudell, nice job to spin away from a couple of defenders. Hurry to pass along to Hebert from behind. Right now, Newtown trying to step it up offensively as they trail on the board 5-3. They'd like to close out the second quarter with a strong, strong finish. This is Hebert. Hebert played it back out left side to McNamara. McNamara with a goal here today. Feeds it along to Corey Fisher. Fisher to Hebert. Hebert from behind, picked up defensively by Bossity. That's been an interesting matchup through the day. Bossity with a long pole, and of course Hebert with the advantage with that shot attack stick. Short, you might say, in Connecticut. Shot in Massachusetts. That shot just wide by Danny Hebert.
Whatever gets you through the game, but I agree with that. And that short stick, you talk about the tremendous advantage of being able to get off the quick shot, but the long pole just as important in the fact that you're able to get those loose balls, and you don't want a man with a long pole coming all the way down from the field on you.
Brophy with a nice reception of the pass, and he drives it wide as he came down quickly. Got that quick trigger, doesn't he? Here's another shot. Score! Great feed from behind the McNamara. Hebert to McNamara, and a quick release. Startling Adam Whitty. And Newtown back in it at 5-4.
A lot of confusion right now for Ridgefield after that play held out. That's what you want to do. If you're Newtown, and even though you're the higher seed, you're more of an underdog in this case. You want to frustrate the Ridgefield team. You want to get them really guessing what they're doing wrong. And McNamara coming in and punishing them off of that play. That was a quick shot.
Great release. I tell you, terrific accuracy, too, to beat Adam Winnie. From about 15 yards out, too. And we're going to get a timeout as Newtown won that ground ball on the far side. 2:27 left till halftime. We got a good one for you, Ridgefield and Newtown. The Tigers leading the Nighthawks. Back with more on CPTV Sports.
What, so it just went black at the Yankees game? Partial.
Depending on the camera, that's usually the engineer job. The camera men are doing the engineering job. Most of them. That's what we're doing. Oh, by the way, the operator's turn is freaking assassin. In the Tim DeRoyne trained assassin. Joe would know what that means. You've never been in the booth and Tim DeRoyne is directed, huh?
Back here at Brien McMahon High School. Ridgefield and Newtown in quite a battle here. 5-4. Ridgefield with the lead. Newtown controlling. Yeah, Newtown trying to make their way back to a championship game for the first time since 2002 when they lost to Joe Barlow in Division II at the time. They lost 10-9. Of course, Ridgefield, the defending Class L champion. They'll take on Fairfield Prep. The winner of this one will, as they knocked out the top seed Simsbury. Hebert controlling. Hebert able to work it back behind the goal. He'll turn away from the defensive Gravitt. In control and wants to get a running start. Here comes the drive towards goal. He turned it back behind to Trudell. Trudell looks for the cutter. Finds Brophy. Brophy, the dangerous player out there for the Nighthawks. I'll go along with McNamara, who's got a couple of goals today, too. McNamara with a laser beam of a shot. Hebert trying to dodge past the defense. Great recovery by James Payne, and they'll play it back out top. This is Fisher now. Fisher's pass was dangerous, but well caught there by Bocheman. Now a shot. That nearly went in. Boy, I tell you, that was just a quick drive off the stick of Fisher and company. Now it's controlled by Brophy. Kind of surprised me right there. They worked that quickly to the front, didn't they?
Bocheman coming from it seemed like a town over to get from behind the net and get a shot from about 5 yards off, hitting the post. Almost a quick strike for Newtown once again.
Now Hebert to control off the left side. Hebert will slow things down, and he'll go into the walking mode with 54 seconds remaining here in the opening half. Newtown looking for the equalizer. I tell you what, they've done a terrific job of stymieing the Tiger offensive attack with some great possessions over the last couple of minutes. It has been long possessions and quality shots towards goal. They're looking for the equalizer here. That would give them some momentum going into that locker room.
You have to credit the Ridgefield defense for being stubborn. They're going to have to continue to do that.
Hebert controlling. Hebert able to spin away from Payne. Back behind, they quickly work it out to the right to Fisher. Fisher's pass was blocked. Fisher got it right back. Well, that with a nice block. He's had a couple of nice plays today. Now Brophy picks up a bouncing ball, forces it ahead, and with 11.4 seconds left, they'll turn it over to the Ridgefield Tigers.
Tremendous courage right now being shown by Newtown to just stick with it. You have to be frustrated playing a team like Ridgefield when they just won't let anything up, but not giving up is Newtown at the moment.
Ridgefield will call a timeout with 11 seconds remaining. We'll keep it right here. And we do remind you, you are watching the Class L Boys Lacrosse Semifinals presented by the CIAC. And it is Ridgefield leading Newtown by the score of 5-4. And this one going according to plan from your estimation?
Well, I expected Ridgefield with the way they were starting off. I expected them to have a very terrific start. You saw them winning the face-offs. They're getting out in transition quick, but they've kind of stalled. That's Newtown really getting into an offensive mode, playing that possession game really excellent right now and keeping it going. I expected Ridgefield to maybe come out a couple of goals ahead, but Newtown sticking with it right now.
Well, Ridgefield will have possession coming out of the timeout, trying to set a play with 11.4 seconds remaining. They'd love to get that 2-goal lead back, and boy, they have not had an offensive possession in quite some time, as Nighthawks showing great ball possession. He did cut into that 2-goal lead with a pretty goal by Brendan McNamara, and then they had a shot that glanced off the post as Bocheman hit a goal post as he snuck behind the defense there and nearly had the game-tying goal.
And the key for the Nighthawks is to take a trip inside the psyche of the Ridgefield Tigers. They got to punch them a little bit, and they have to affect them mentally. And right now, talking to the coach of the team, Roy Colsey of Ridgefield, saying that they came out a little flat. They might come out a little flat because they really are upset that they lost their leader, Wilkinson, having a hand injury late in that Glastonbury game that was a blowout. So that's always tough to deal with and a tremendous shock for Ridgefield, but Newtown's going to have to do that.
Good look at Sean Riley, expected to be the big-time guy with Wilkinson out of the lineup. Tigers with it. Durth over to Riley. Riley flicks a pass along the shot, and it might have been stopped by Isaac on a drive from Eric Scala, who had a big first half with a couple for Ridgefield as the first half comes to a close. 5-4, your halftime score. Ridgefield leading Newtown in a dandy of a Class L semifinal. We'll step aside. We'll be back with the second half right here on CPTV Sports.
How's the white balance on 3? 3 minutes? Okay. Alrighty.
Remember when I saw you at Stop and Shop? 24 hours. I know, remember? Where did you tell me? Where did you tell me not to leave? She was afraid to wave to you. Sam Anderson.
Fans, the winner of tonight's game will take on Fairfield Prep here on Saturday at a time to be determined. And the Class M matchup will feature Darien and New Canaan at a time to be determined right here at Brien McMahon High School, along with the Class S championship.
All right, feet back on head. I'm at 65. I'm white balancing on that white tent across from me.
All right, right back here at Brien McMahon High School, set for the opening face-off of the second half, third quarter of play. If you're just tuning in, Ridgefield, the third seed, they control the ball right now in the black uniforms with the orange trim. So the Tigers of Ridgefield leading 5-4. Dearth tried to force a pass to the middle. It's into the circle, covered up by Evan Isaacs of Newtown. Newtown obviously in the white uniforms. They are called the Nighthawks, the second seed in this tournament, and boy, they just toss it away. That's a costly turnover. They give the ball right back to Ridgefield. Goal scorers for Ridgefield, 2 by Sean Riley, 2 by Eric Scala, and 1 by Simon Matthias. On the flip side, Brendan McNamara with a pair and Justin Brophy with 2 for Newtown, and your score is at 5-4. Tigers controlling right now. That's Cousins of control. He's had a strong game. Now they put it back out top to Bonaparte. Bonaparte plays it off to the right wing. Taken there and settled down by Kelly. Scala now controlling. Rolls back out top. Left-handed carry, and they'll pitch it along to the far side. That's Timothy Cousins. Dearth now controlling. Dearth back out top it goes to Will Bonaparte, the sophomore. Boy, he plays like a seasoned veteran as a sophomore, doesn't he?
He does, and him and Dearth are really the assist men on this team in getting the guys open on the other side. They'll take it at the top, and then they want Scala and company to really make that penetration to get the goal.
There's a great move and a little wiggle and a quick shot by Timothy Cousins, and he's on the scoreboard with 1. And Ridgefield opens up a 6-4 lead.
And that's a goal that Cousins really needs to be proud of. He was pushed by 2 men, really having a tough time. That celebration really warranted because he was on the ground getting it off his back foot and finishing it on the far post, a tremendous goal.
So Cousins makes it 6-4. It's interesting, the trip for Newtown here. Newtown with a win over Norwalk in round 1, 13-8. And then they beat Brien McMahon 15-10 to make their way into the semifinals. For Ridgefield, 20-3 over Newington. And then they down Glastonbury by the score of 14-3. The winner of this game, by the way, taking on Fairfield Prep. They just eliminated the top seed, Simsbury, to earn a berth in the upcoming Class L championship game. Tigers, all the momentum right now. That was a costly turnover by Newtown in the first moment, and it really has given the momentum to the Tigers. This is Scala, plays it along to the far side, left side. That's Bonaparte, and he'll slow it down. Bonaparte to the alley. He's picked up by Spath defensively. Works off the screen. Spath stayed right with him with a good bit of footwork there. As they slow it down to the Tigers. Off the left. Bonaparte controlling. Spath staying with him. Bonaparte shifting. Turns around. Spath finds an angle. Shifts right-handed. The shot bounces it just wide of Evan Isaac.
Good looking shot by Bonaparte there. Knowing that he didn't have the angle, and of course moving away from the goal, having to get it out in front by getting a bouncing shot, and that was the ticket that would have scored, but Isaac's up to the task once again. Tremendous job by him. I know he's given up a goal already this period, but 6, that's not bad.
Kelly roughed up. Spath jars the ball free. It's a bouncing ball. Tigers get it right back. They've been Johnny on the spot here early in this third quarter of play, and Eric Scala will pull it back out and reset things. He moved away from the havoc of the pass. The Bonaparte, he took his eye off, and it's going to be stolen away. Racing through the middle is McNamara. McNamara with a pair of goals. He's on the run in transition, and now he'll pull it out to the right wing. This Newtown team very strong with their wing play. Hebert cuts to the left wing. His pass deflected away. As Valant got to it, he's been terrific with that long pole defensively for the Tigers today, disrupting the flow of this Nighthawk team.
And right now for the Nighthawks, they've given the possession away for a while after they were really had the momentum. It's going to be that long possession game, but getting the right shot off, they really have to take advantage of this opportunity more than anything.
Trudell from behind. Trudell, his pass down low. Bojerman trying to chase it down now through midfield, waiting for it and scooping it up is Eric Scala. Scala tried to reverse direction, slipped down, got back up. Great recovery, great feet ahead. Breaking in alone, Riley, one-on-one, goes for the shot. Big save by Isaacs, the save of the day.
And if you're Isaacs, that's a big feather in your cap. That's going to be the save you're going to remember for a long time, because you're going up against a guy that's giving up that scored 58 goals this year.
What a save by Evan Isaac, all alone. Sean Riley, and what a stop. He did not give up any ground at all, did Evan Isaac, the junior goalkeeper.
And it's one-on-one. Can you imagine the adrenaline flowing through Isaacs' body there? He gets that low crouch position because he knew Riley was going low. That's just excellent anticipation.
This is Riley now controlling for the Tigers as things settle down. On the return trip, Fisher went out of bounds, turning it back to the Ridgefield Tigers. 7:38 remaining in the third, 6-4 score, Ridgefield with the lead. They want to defend their Class L championship. Now a cut in front by Cousins, and he lost as he tried to go over the top of the shot. It was knocked down by Bojerman. Did a nice job with that physical play, and now the cover by Evan Isaacs. Isaac with a long clear up ahead, a dangerous pass, and it's going to trickle all the way to the offensive half of the Nighthawks. But quickly to it again is Brendan Bossity, and he'll play it back to his goalkeeper, Adam Winnie.
Important ground ball for Bossity right there, because you saw the big save. Newtown gaining a little more momentum trying to get back in this game, but Bossity saving that play right there, and now they can go back on the attack. I'd like to see them slow it down a little bit now and try to take advantage.
Low scoring third quarter. We just got one scored. That was by Cousins. It was a highlight reel goal, however. 6-4 lead for Ridgefield. They have possession right now. That's Gravitt. Ran into traffic. Ball dislodged by Bassett. Bassett couldn't maintain possession, and Eric Scala quickly to the ground ball for the victory.
Hunter Bassett with the slash there, a legal slash, getting right there on the stick to try to dislodge it and really getting it loose but not finishing up.
Carbone trying to curl inside. Able to pass it off to Cousins. Cousins out to the left side to Gravitt. Gravitt picked up defensively by Seabury, and they'll play it back out. Gravitt to the left side. He'll finally pass it on. So that's enough running. Cousins now shifting, trying to find that inside angle. Great pass to Riley. Turns. Big stop again by Isaac. Anticipating the shot. Went down like a goalkeeper to the knees to make that save. Riley, look at him go after that ground ball on the far side. That's a terrific win by Sean Riley. Riley being roughed up. Maintains possession. Great stick handling. Out top to Cousins. Straight on scores. His second of the quarter, 7-4 Ridgefield.
What else can you say? Now he's getting it going. I mean, Cousins, just like everybody else on this Ridgefield team, they have the knack for scoring, and they can get out in front of the net. It took a low shot that time for Cousins, but he was able to take advantage of it. Now Ridgefield flying away. Newtown is going to have to do something here to keep up that defense and then go back on the offensive game.
It was really Sean Riley that made that play work. That was just terrific and great distribution to the wide open Cousins. And he made no mistake rifling it behind the red-hot goalkeeper, Evan Isaacs.
And if you look at that goal, where it went in the back of the net, he didn't have that much real estate at that point. It was a low shot, but not entirely on the ground because he had to get it in front of the leg. Just a nice shot.
Ridgefield with a 3-goal lead. If we get a whistle, stoppage in play, we'll get a restart here. Don't know what that whistle was for. Might have been a whistle in the crowd, as looks like play will continue on. Thought I heard a whistle. Matthias, who has scored, will play it out top. Dirth to slow it down. Dirth, one of the big physical players out there for the Ridgefield Tigers. He's only a junior, is Calvin Dirth. Scala, one of the seniors, has 2 goals today. 2's a magic for this Ridgefield team. They have 3 players with a pair of goals. Newtown with 2 players with 2 goals. There's a shot, whistled wide. Scala going low. Boy, he's got a little bit of a gun going on here, doesn't he, off the left side?
And with the Tigers players, they're not fooling around. They want goals, and they want them in bunches. You can see Scala more than anybody, more like an archer, just trying to rifle in the back of the cage. Don't want to mess with that young man.
Dirth from behind. Great defensive work by Brendan McNamara to steal it away. Ball still free, however. And it's to the sideline. It will roll out of play. Tigers maintain possession. They claim last touch by McNamara.
And that call, not really happy right now is Newtown that they didn't get it, but they'll just have to defend. Can't pay attention to what the referee's doing out there right now because right now their season's on the line and the game's getting away from them just a bit.
Eric Scala controlling, left-handed carry. Patrick will pick him up defensively. Scala, very quick across the top of the box over to Cousins. Cousins with a pair of goals here in the third has broken it open. 3-goal lead now for Ridgefield. Cousins finds a seam, the shooting slot, quick shot goes wide. Boy, he has been strong off the wing.
And he has, but once again, Isaacs saving his team right there. Just by the way that the ball bounced so far over and went out of bounds, you could tell how hard that shot's to deal with. You have to deal with the trajectory and the bounce.
They find the cutter out front. Good pass by Dirth, but they couldn't unleash a shot as Matthias was knocked down. Now the ball to the back line, racing after. Did Isaacs get there first? They claim the Tigers do with the speedy Sean Riley. What a possession. They have possessed the ball for most of this third quarter of play. It has paid off with 2 goals and a 7-4 lead with 3:34 and ticking on down here in the third. There's a pass, swatting at it was Riley. It's picked up and the shot deflected wide. Isaacs might have got a piece off the Cousins drive.
Ridgefield right now is playing what I would call demoralizing lacrosse because they're keeping the possession, really drowning the energy out of the game. Really got to be hard to play if you're Newtown, and they're winning the faceoffs, and then after that, just continuing the effort 100%. Just a great job.
Kelly knocked down. He wanted to curl out front. A marker is thrown, and we've got a flag and an infraction, and looks like it's going to go against Cameron Patrick of Newtown. He's going to try it over to the sideline. And let's see if he makes his way in front of his team bench and takes a knee, or will it be another player? It won't be Patrick.
Frustration penalty right there. That's what it came down to. You saw that play develop, and you know Newtown just has to keep at it. They still are only down 3 goals despite not really making any headway in this quarter, but they just have to get possession back first and then deal with it afterward.
Well, no one has taken a knee over there, but it is a man-up situation here for the Ridgefield Tigers. They've had the majority of those. I don't think Newtown has enjoyed one here today. It's been penalty-free for Ridgefield. Put it this way, if Newtown has had one, it's been only one. This is the fourth opportunity for Ridgefield, and Durth tried to unleash the shot, but the ball wasn't in the webbing, and it's going to be taken away and controlled by Dennis. Back to Isaacs, and a long pitch to the near side. Good play by Hebert to get to it, and that ball swatted down by Volant, who has been all over the field defensively. Spath will finally get it, and his pass too high and too far out of the reach of Trey Trudell, and they turn it right back to the Tigers.
Now for Newtown here. Ridgefield's going to keep the possession, but you have them on the other end of the field. You want to really guard the player that's bringing it in tightly, and that's Durth. They're going to have to get it back here quickly because they really haven't made an impact on this game in the third quarter.
Ridgefield continues to control the play. They have done a nice job. And they work it along the sideline. Back out top.
Scala's been calling for that ball for about 30 seconds, wanting to set up, and this takes even more time off the clock. Tremendous game management from Ridgefield here today.
Scala, marked by Spath. They go behind the goal. Matthias makes a cut to the near wing. Now he'll set the screen. Scala on the turn. Out front, but Spath cut him off. Spath still following Scala. Scala finds a shooting angle and a quick save by Isaac with the stick. He tried to go high. Nice stop again by Evan Isaacs. Isaacs trying to keep his team in it. That's a great move coming from behind the goal by Matthias. And he scores his second of the game. Terrific move. He's a quick little player as the freshman Simon Matthias. And it is now 8-4 Ridgefield.
Ridgefield doing what you should do when you miss a goal like that. Isaacs with a great save, but you have to keep at it. You saw Matthias going underneath and sweeping it through in an upward motion, getting it through to the right side. Really was a terrific goal, as you see on the replay. As you just saw, getting it in on the bottom. He was on the ground. Tough to get it past Isaacs after a tremendous save.
Newtown needs a face-off win desperately. Will they get it? They're battling for it. It is scooped up by Corey Fisher. That's good work, and then he throws it away, and it's a ground ball, and the Tigers trying to get it back, and they will regain control.
It's all about the physicality and the face-off. McNamara is a good face-off guy, but he wasn't delivering that, wasn't getting low enough. That's why they switched with Fisher. They finally, it looks like they won a face-off there, but they haven't been winning them all game, and that's starting the possession early for Ridgefield.
Cousins picking up the pass. Scala receives the pass, dropped it, scooped it right back up, carries left-handed. They lob it back out. Off the left, it's Gravitt. Gravitt marked by Seabury. Gravitt continues to control it. Over to Cousins. Cousins dangerous off that wing. He has scored 2 on drives off the wing. Now he dodges out top, shooting and scoring. His third of the quarter, third of the game. It is now 9-4 Ridgefield as they begin to pull away.
Ridgefield making that effort, sustained here, getting the players open, and now it's just a lot of frustration for Newtown as they try to get forward. It's a 48-minute game, as their coach mentioned earlier today, but they have to execute that. But it's not really going to make a difference against a Ridgefield team that's just very strong all year, Don.
Yeah, Ridgefield now leading by 5 goals at 9-4. It was a 48-minute game. It's now down to a 12-minute and 34-second game for Newtown. So they're running out of time. Ridgefield is dominated here in the second half, and they win yet another ball. That's Bowley played it along the left side. Penalty marker thrown, and now the Nighthawks beginning to show some frustration. And I believe Corey Fisher will take a knee. Another man-up opportunity for Ridgefield, and they have really taken advantage and really created momentum off these man-up opportunities.
And it's because of the frustration that they've been able to cause. And doing so, they really know where to find that empty hole because they've been able to pass it around so much. And that's how the Tigers take advantage of that. But for now, Newtown just has to get through this rest of the quarter. They've really struggled of late, and they've been frustrated, as we've mentioned, but they have to get through this penalty and then really regroup.
Scala wants some movement. Pass behind to Riley. Riley looking, and back along they work at the Kelly. Out top it comes. There's a shot just wide. Changing the angle with Bonaparte. He was set up out top of the box. They still have time remaining, 3 seconds. Here in the third quarter, they are a man up, and they do lead 9-4. And there's your horn as time expires through 3. So we're through 3 quarters, and Ridgefield just 12 minutes away from meeting Fairfield Prep for the Class L Championship and a rematch from last year's game. 9-4 score. Ridgefield leading Newtown. Back with more on CPTV Sports.
All right, so
Catch a replay of tonight's game Friday at 8:30 p.m. on CPTV Sports. That's Friday at 8:30 on CPTV Sports.
5,500 by 6. No end.
The 2012 CIAC Boys Lacrosse State Tournament is sponsored proudly by Parent Star Insurance and Max Preps.
Right now I'm reading 5,400 at F4. I can try opening it one.
All right, welcome right back as we get underway here with quarter number 4. It is all Ridgefield. They still have possession, 9-4 lead. Out top, Bonaparte scores as he rifles it home. They set him out top of the box, and with the man up, they tally again as the third man up goal, and that's unofficial with my statistical information, of course, but it is now 10-4.
and it is the third man up goal there. Like we said, just taking advantage. That time Bonaparte getting in on the scoring, and he has to be happy about that going here towards the third quarter. You have to, or into fourth quarter, you have to expect with a team that now has 10 goals, they score around 13, and they're going to get to that mark today, it looks like. And doing by just what we're about to see here, winning those face-off and starting the possessions off right.
So here's the face-off. Ridgefield now dominating at 10-4. Really pulling away here in the second half, and yet another possession. Newtown, they just can't get control of the ball. I mean, it's that simple. Bonaparte to control it out top again.
But, Don, it just speaks volumes to the superior quality of play that Ridgefield plays. You don't want to talk down about Newtown because they played great all season, but they're just not at Ridgefield's level, it would seem. Ridgefield really exposing that, but Newtown's still going to try. They're going to give you that full effort, and they have a tremendous player at Brophy that can score at any time to bring them back.
Isaacs with a stop down one end, Winnie with a stop at the other end, and back on the Ridgefield Tigers, Bonaparte through the middle. So Newtown went right at the goal, no messing around, as they need to tally 6 times a tie. Just under 11 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of play. Scala the control, shifting off the right. Dennis trying to stay with him. Scala has too much speed. Shot just wide of the goal. Good opportunity. 3 goals for Cousins here today. He's opened things up with his performance in the third quarter for the Ridgefield Tigers. Sean Riley really sparked him. Great thing about Riley, remember when he was stopped on that breakaway by Isaacs? He didn't hang the head, and then he went to work thereafter and did some terrific things, setting up Cousins, and Cousins able to explode and score 3 in the third quarter.
You have to wonder what was said at halftime and what everybody else was doing, because I think Cousins had a ear to the coach standing right probably in his face. I mean, coming out and playing very well.
Eric Scala off the right. Scala with a pair of goals today for the Tigers. He'll cut behind the net. Dennis trying to stay with him. Bonaparte will take it off the left. He is tallied. He's on the left wing. Cuts inside of the defender. Good recovery by McNamara. Back it comes to Riley. Riley working on Fletcher. Riley back behind the goal to Scala. Ridgefield pinpoint passing here in the second half. You've got to be impressed with their play.
You do, and it's just like I said, the possession game right now. I would be so frustrated if I were out there in our Newtown, because it's really tough to fight back against that. Playing very slow right now, keeping the ball, but then at the right time, it seems like somebody's open at the top of the 20-yard line and then just throwing it on net as fast as they can.
Dirth, marked by Spath. Dirth carrying left-handed, back right-handed. Now they're going to double team him as he's just letting time stall from behind the goal. They continue to work that outside. Scala moved it along accurately to Kelly. Bonaparte. Bonaparte will back off and back behind the dirt. Ridgefield taking valuable time off the clock with a 10-4 lead and 8:44 remaining.
Spath is playing well considering the circumstances. I expected him to be a little more physical, but he's playing smart physical, not trying to get any dumb penalties or anything like that right now. Playing really tight on Dirth.
Dirth finds Kelly. Forced the pass for Riley. It's deflected away, but Bonaparte quickly to it, and they maintain possession. Back to Dirth it goes at the X.
And Ridgefield wants to defend their title. They want to go back into that title game right now, but you can never take the foot off the gas, it seems. We saw Darien in a game in the M semis really keeping it going the whole way, winning 14-3, I believe. Just 100% effort there the whole game. And the fans at that 13th goal was pretty excited, just like it was the first one.
Spin from behind by Matthias. Matthias, the freshman, has been fabulous today. He's got a pair. Look at those moves. Cuts in front, shoots, scores. Simon Matthias with his third of the game with a great move. And it is now 11-4 Ridgefield.
And what can you say for Matthias there? Now a hat trick. It just seems like Ridgefield is just excellent in getting everybody involved. And Matthias, he can certainly celebrate. They're heading to the finals right now. They have a lot to be happy about, but for them right now, it's just going to be about getting there. And for Newtown, just have to tighten up a little bit more and not get so frustrated.
So the face-off, Newtown trying to win one here. Of course, Fairfield Prep, who has already made their way to the Class L championship game, representing the SCC. Ridgefield coming out of the FCIAC. 7:38 left, and Ridgefield back in possession again with Cousins off the far right side. Cousins from behind the goal. It looks like we're going to see that same strategy again. Work that outside, wait patiently. When you find the perfect angle towards the goal, cut in front and give it a try. Cousins taking time off the clock. Now they double team Cousins, so he'll fire a pass along to Riley. The Kelly, and we get a whistle. And maybe, I don't know. Can't figure it out.
Since Riley scored 2 goals early in the game, you'd expect him to have more, but he hasn't had to do too much work here today. We know he's a guy that could score 3 goals every game, but he's got 2, and his teammates are helping him out.
So Kelly the control. I can't tell you the reason why they stopped play there a moment ago.
Probably so the refs can get a chance to rest after some of this play, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Extended time of play. Matthias controlling. Matthias from behind. He can certainly dance with it. Miller trying to stay with him. Over to Cousins. They have taken the goalkeeper, Evan Isaacs, and he's come out and he's now playing Riley one-on-one, so we have an empty goal. That's interesting. No goaltender. Ridgefield just playing keep away right now. That's what they're doing. Fahey, I should say Kelly in the ball game, tried to wiggle through a double team and timeout is called. And Ridgefield will call the timeout. 6:34 left. Ridgefield leading by the score of 11-4 over Newtown. Back with more after these messages.
No penalty there? It was a cost.
All right, three's reading 4,000, 3.4.
All right back here at Brien McMahon High School. Ridgefield having it their way with 6:34 remaining here in the fourth quarter. They lead 11-4 over Newtown. Their possessions have been spectacular here in the second half.
Really has. They've been getting behind the net so they could waste a little time. You would assume that that's what they were doing, but then they come out in front and punish Newtown in front of the net. Really not having a hard time in front, but Newtown has to keep going here.
Yeah, they've outscored Newtown here in the second half, 6-0. Newtown finally getting the possession on the turnover. And Danny Hebert racing through the middle of the field.
And it was that backbreaker by Cousins in the beginning of that third quarter because they had scored some goals and they had made it 5-4, and you thought with McNamara bringing that charge that Newtown really was going to make some headway in this game.
Hebert will play it back behind. Back it comes to Hebert off the left. Newtown trying to do something positive. Fisher plays it along to McNamara. McNamara working off the right wing. He was shut down by Boley as he stayed right with him. Comfortable lead for Ridgefield. Pass back behind. They try to force it in front of McNamara, and that was blocked away as Trudell tried to force it there, and it was blocked again by guess who? Paul Vallant. What a game he has had, is Vallant. He's like the unsung hero out there defensively for the Ridgefield Tigers.
He is, but right there what we're seeing from Newtown is finally they feel like they've been pushed enough in this game that they're responding a little more, getting physical. That's the real problem why they aren't in this game right now and down by 7, because in the third quarter they just weren't physical, and when they were just creating some pretty bad penalties.
Down to 5:08 remaining, and we get a whistle, and they're going to turn it back. They didn't get the ball into the box quickly enough, and on the delay it's turned right back to the Newtown Nighthawks. So the Nighthawks trying to figure a way to get back into this game. Will Fletcher hurried to pass along, but threw it behind Bocheman, and it's a ground ball. And it's going to be scooped up by Ridgefield's Bossity. Bossity, clever little pass to Dearth, great eyesight. Dearth also got to a good spot there, and Dearth is going to race side of the goal, looks in front, nothing going on, so he'll cut back behind and play it off to the right to grab it.
You're really seeing a complete game from Ridgefield. It's been that transition. It's been patience after they get to transition.
Dearth scores into the open net as Evan Isaacs had gone out to play a player, and that was an easy one. It is now 12-4.
Just finishing there by Dearth. An easy goal, so still to talk about that one, though. They've played a complete game, as we mentioned. We're talking about the patience factor, punishing them with the goals and having the accuracy on net. Also winning ground balls and face-offs to get possession. Just a terrific game here so far for the Tigers.
Absolutely. In all phases of the game, they have been terrific here in the second half. Now outscoring Newtown in the second half 7-0. They held the lead at 5-4 at halftime. Newtown had closed the gap at the 9:22 mark of the second quarter, and they haven't scored since then. Back ahead. Logley played it along. Good feed. Riley scores, and all of a sudden they turn it up another notch, and they lead 13-4.
Riley taking his opportunity to put his name in the hat and get the hat trick. He's got 61 goals this year, I believe, now. So he's had an amazing season. But as this game winds down, you want to talk about Newtown. It's been a banner year for them. They were motivated by not winning the SWC, because Barlow was just tremendous this year, all year. But they played some very strong teams, playing East Lyme, also playing Glastonbury and some other great teams. It's just a step in them in their building process to get to the top here in Connecticut lacrosse.
So the Nighthawks controlling, and they'll play it back out top. Brophy has not had many touches here in the second half at all. Very, very few. This is Trudell. He's their big-time scorer, and Ridgefield has kept the ball away from his possession. McNamara to control it now. Brendan McNamara. He has 2 goals today. 2 goals for Brophy. That came back in the first half, came early, Matt, back in the first quarter.
And that's why it's obviously the difference is night and day between that first quarter. Obviously, it's the light has changed, but you saw Brophy score that first goal, and that was enthusiasm right there. The best start that you could think of for Newtown, having your best player put you out in front, but it didn't translate into the third quarter, and they just didn't come out after halftime.
It didn't translate through the first quarter as Ridgefield had a 3-2 lead. The only time they trailed was 1-0, and then they jumped out 2-1. Newtown was able to tie it at 2, but when Ridgefield went ahead 3-2, they just slowly began to pull away. Now battling after it is Brophy, still fighting, but it's taken away. Ullagly will move it through midfield. He was tripped up and is taken right back by Justin Brophy. Feed up ahead to the right side. Derrickson trying to do something with it. Marker thrown. Might have been a stick to the helmet there. We'll have to wait and see. Indeed, that's what it is. And the infraction going against the Tigers and Keen Quick, a sophomore.
Newtown right here with the man-up opportunity. You want to score, if not for anything, just to prove that you do belong at this level, as they have all year, and just to stick one back at Ridgefield while they go back. You never want to quit, but like we said, it's an end to a career for Brophy, and he really has had such a great year. 49 goals on the season, nothing to hang his head about.
So Newtown controlling. They have the man up. Pass out front. Quick shot. Save is made by Winnie. He hasn't had to make too many here in the second half as he just stopped Derrickson's try. Winnie coming out of the goal. He wants to get involved right here. We get whistles and stoppage in play. A lot of pushing going on.
And something we've yet to mention today, that's also the end of the Brophies in lacrosse in Newtown. Brophy, not even the best player in his family, as his sister is a top lacrosse star at Columbia. She was an All-American here. She had finished off a long time ago, but certainly Newtown sad to see them go, but they will build in the future, and they will not forget, more importantly.
Ridgefield controlling. Oh, loose pass, stolen away, shot, score. Taking advantage, Trey Trudell. He was trailing the play and said, thank you very much. And Newtown is on the board here in the second half. It is now 13-5.
Trey Trudell, another player with an excellent season for Newtown this year. 27 goals as a senior. Also had 44 assists, but Trudell scoring there to give them the first goal. You didn't want to go home after giving up 7 straight, certainly.
Time of the goal, 9:55 for the Newtown Nighthawks to make it 13-5. So the face-off. This is where Ridgefield has dominated. And they have taken that face-off possession and turned it into, 13 goals here today. And we get a timeout, Ridgefield, as they have the lead, a comfortable lead with 1:55 left. 13-5 you score. Frankie and I will step aside. We'll be back with more right here on CPTV Sports. Ridgefield talking about perhaps some post-game celebration on the far side with 1:55 left. They have a 13-5 lead over Newtown, and it's starting to look as though they are moving their way to a state championship encounter with Fairfield Prep as we take a look at Adam Winnie of the Ridgefield Tigers. He has been solid here today and really hasn't faced much action here in the second half, Frankie, but when called upon, he has been very good.
He has, but I think he'd be better suited in this game to take a break and go get some chicken fingers from that lovely concession stand that we have over there. One of the better ones I've seen around in the state, but that's just how easy his team has made it for him here today. And they're going to go up against Fairfield Prep again. What a rivalry that's becoming.
This is Kelly, the control, so you rate the concession stands around the state. I used to do that before I went on my diet.
Well, you know what? You go to all these games, you don't eat for a while. That's my excuse, but you never see chicken fingers anymore at a concession stand here at the high school level.
You don't eat for a while, huh? Okay, there we go. Again, out of the goal, the goalkeeper.
Hey, Don, I watch the news. I've seen a lot of that zombie thing lately. You know, I might get a little too hungry up here in the booth.
There you go. 67 seconds remaining here in Ridgefield. If we had a clock and time of possession, wow.
And it wasn't like that for a while in the first quarter, as we mentioned. Obviously, as Ridgefield plays strong, they're gonna really change the game more to their tempo. But Newtown was playing that possession game to perfection. They had a 5-minute possession where it finally took them that long to score a goal when they were only a goal behind. But Ridgefield keeping on right now.
Got a flag thrown. Baker was roughed up, and ball was dislodged. And with the change of possession, the cross-check being called here against the Newtown Nighthawks with only 43 seconds left, and Ridgefield will punch their ticket to the championship game in Class L Lacrosse, taking on Fairfield Prep. You mentioned turning into quite a rivalry. What a game they had last year for a championship.
11-10, 14.5 seconds to go. Wilkinson scored. They were down by 5 goals in that contest, so you could expect this year that Ridgefield, with the way they've been playing, I feel like they're a better team than last year. They were a 6th seed last year, but they also got to beat Darien in the FCIAC tournament this year, so I expect this game to be even closer, but Ridgefield to be the aggressor this year.
Ridgefield just whittling the time off the clock, and they'll play it back behind the goal. They jumped out to an insurmountable lead with 4 goals in the third quarter. They actually went on a run of 8 goals before Newtown would finally tally. This is Scala from behind. Might be fitting that he controls the ball at the horn as Ridgefield comes away with a convincing win. 13-5 over Newtown. They move on to the Class L championship game. What a performance. Sean Riley with 3. Simon Mathias scored 3 times. Jimmy Cousins 3. Eric Scala with a pair. And Will Bonaparte tallied once for victorious Ridgefield. Brendan McNamara and Justin Brophy with a pair of goals each in a losing effort for Newtown. And Trey Trudell with a goal for Newtown. Stay tuned for our post-game comments. We'll have an interview with the player of the game. That's all upcoming right here on CPTV Sports.
Cousins was the key to that game, scoring the 3 goals. But, so, I don't know, man. I feel like Riley can give us more of a wholesome team. All right. We'll talk to Cousins. I think we'll tell you what.
Good game to see. I don't appreciate it. We have TV.
Ground ball.
Hi, my name's Andrew.
Ground ball. That's right.
Dad, I want my quarterback.
Yep, that's that one. I heard about your game, guys. Get up next time. How are you?
Good, how are you,
Oh,
Stroud?
tough fight.
Tough one.
Yeah. Did Karen go in front of you?
I'm gonna get my money back.
You tell that fight.
They beat him last year.
Good night, guys. Good night. Oh, dear. Oh, yeah.
I help. You did not help. I look for you.
As a sophomore. I know. I am proud father. I have to stop taking her out on the golf course, otherwise she's going to beat me again. All conference. I'm psyched. All right, number 8, Ocho, is coming over with Frankie. Numero 8. Mic 1 2 check 1 2 check check check.
One of the top teams in the state, especially in the tri-state area, but it seemed like there was something seriously missing there. So if you could tell all those things that are off.
Saturday or Friday?
Saturday.
Okay.
Friday.
The only thing we ask.
Friday night at 8:30.
Yeah. The only thing we ask is no one more boxers.
Yeah.
Don't say it was just great.
Yeah. COZENS. Yep. COZEN is cousins, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And Tim? What do you want? Tim, Timmy, Timothy?
Tim.
Tim. Tim Cousins.
Tim Cousins.
Where are we standing?
COZENS. ENS. What year?
Junior.
Junior?
Yep.
And position?
Midfield.
Midfield. Junior midfield.
Where are we standing over here?
Frankie Stack.
3 goals today.
2 goals?
3.
3 goals.
And then if you want to put parentheses, all in third quarter.
All in the third quarter.
Just stand.
Hold on.
I'm with you.
So what happens is we're going to wait a little bit for him to send it down.
Stand by.
All right, back here at Brien McMahon High School, your final score. It was Ridgefield over Newtown, 13-5. The Tigers earn away back into the championship game of the Class L Boys Lacrosse Tournament. And our own Frankie Graziano is down below with the star of the game. That's Timothy Cousins.
Thank you, Don. I want to introduce you folks, our audience on CPTV Sports, to our player of the game, Tim Cousins. 3 big goals, but before we talk about that, at halftime, Newtown was closing in about 5-4. What did your coach say to you to make you come back like that?
Well, coach just basically told us that, if we don't play better, the season's going to be over. I mean, we came out slow, we came out sloppy, start the game, and we don't want our seniors to go out like that. We don't want our team to go out like that. So coach just told us, be aggressive, just don't let the season end now.
And besides that, what propelled you? There was the injury to Wilkinson, of course, and Newtown getting on the door. What propelled you to those 3 goals, and what did you see in the defense?
Oh, well, basically I just tried to be aggressive, try to do something for my team to get us going, and thankfully I was able to get some good looks at the ball in the net. It's funny, actually, because I was injured for the whole CIAC run, so, now Wilkie's out now, and I'm back, so I just tried to step up and try to do some of what Wilkie could do. Not all of it, but just do what I can to help us win.
And you certainly stepped up tonight, and now it's all about trying to get that 2nd title in a row. What do you have to do to attain that?
Definitely come out faster to start the game next game. I mean, we did it in the 2 CIAC games here against Darien and New Canaan. We just got to come out fast and play 4 quarters, and if we do that, go back to back, baby.
Well, good luck, and we certainly hope that you're able to do that just like you did tonight. You played very well. We're going to go back up to Don Boyle in the booth.
All right, thank you, Frankie, and great work with Timmy Cousins down below. He scored 3 goals, pacing the Ridgefield attack today. Sean Riley also scored 3, and Simon Matthias with 3 for Ridgefield. They win, going away over Newtown by the score of 13-5. They will face Fairfield Prep for the Class L championship. Great work by the entire team down below. Our production unit right on it today. And for my partner, Frankie Graziano, I'm Don Boyle saying goodbye from Brien McMahon High School. This has been a CPTV Sports presentation. Thank you.